What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Stand Up Guys Podcast, episode 46. I'm your host, incomparable Zach Jones, joined as always by the Kyle Bravlovsky to my Ike Bravlovsky, Lester Jones.
I mean, those are both pretty good Bravlovskys, I feel like. Just don't be their father or their mother.
And, of course, we're joined by the Ninth Wonder, Chocolate Thunder, delivering DoorDash and getting tipped with DoorGash. The wine and dining, 69 and he'll throw in extra butter for a taste of that turd cutter, the phenomenal A.J. Singh.
Wow. I mean, bravo.
Spent your creative energies for the week.
That was for my fever dream I had this weekend off of that second vaccine shot. Have you ever had any crazy stories delivering DoorDash, like weird people or anything?
Not yet. No, just weird places, like out in the middle of nowhere. That's it.
Leave it by the tree.
But yeah, nothing strange yet.
I actually have a story. It's not really even a story, just kind of an observation and something I was curious about. It's one of those things that I almost wish we had more people so we could ask them about it. But a couple weeks ago, when my parents are in town, they were looking for something to do. So my mom went online and she found this park nearby, and so we drove them and the kids to the park. And on the road going to the park, the road has a bunch of speed bumps on it. And of course, anybody, if you've lived, you've seen signs that say speed bump or whatever. But this particular road called all of them humps. Oh, yeah. And so each one of them, there was a road sign that said hump, not bump, hump. Oh. And then on both sides of each hump, they painted the word hump on the road. So I'm that guy went home and his wife was like, "What do you do today, honey?" "Oh, I painted the word hump 19 times on the street."
You were just going to say, "I've been humping."
Didn't once think bump might be the right word.
I'd be humping.
But that's what
some guy probably changed his stencil just so he could do hump.
But see, that's what I was wondering is have you guys ever seen other streets where they said hump instead of bump?
No.
That's fancy.
See, that's why I wish we had a larger audience, because if anybody listens to this, please comment and tell us if you've seen other streets with humps instead of bumps. I just thought it was funny.
It was stenciling hump.
What is it, a camel?
A really humpy street. You guys have any stories from the week you'd like to share?
I watched Loki.
Loki.
And I absolutely loved it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was very thoroughly impressed with the first episode. It answered a lot of my you know how Loki is kind of mischievous treated, but he does a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of cover that, so they give a good kind of a backstory to the character and stuff. They kind of flesh him out a little bit, and yeah, I liked everything. It was a visual masterpiece. So yeah.
Once again, just like with Cap and Bucky, I'm gonna let them stack up, and then I'll watch them together.
No, I don't blame you. I just can't help myself.
You might have to wait one weekend. That way you get in the next one that starts up.
What do you mean?
The delays or whatever you're talking about. Where they purposely stack things so 1 month you don't get to see everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, they kind of, I don't know if Disney's done that, but yeah, I was kind of, I really do think that Warner Brothers pushed Mortal Kombat a week so that those people that got to subscribe for the Snyder Cut would stick around, longer. Mm. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, because that movie was obviously done. But and that just makes too much sense. What about you? What you been watching?
Oh, there's a new season of Alone, so I've been going through that.
Alone.
I always think, oh, I would be so good at Alone.
I never think that.
It's like they send people out in the wilderness and they're just by themselves and they get to take like 10 items with them.
Okay.
And basically whoever stays in the longest wins.
What's like the best item you could take with you?
Well, they give you like a list of acceptable items and they can take 10, but most of them take like either a saw or an axe.
Yeah.
They almost all have tarps.
Okay.
They let you have a bow and arrow, so most people take a bow and arrow. And then there's like another, knives and like
maybe
like
a
a
water
net
filtration, something.
mostly they just boil their water, but you're allowed to take like a cast iron pot or something like that, so you can boil your water.
Okay.
So a little bit of just the essentials.
All right.
Within 10 minutes, I'd like stub my toe, and I'd be like Peter on Family Guy, I'd be like, and I'd be like, take me out.
Just walking around, you'd be like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Walking, yeah. I think there was one season where a guy was like out, like I think it was his first day, and he slipped and like hyperextended his knee or something, and like he was gone the first day. Oh, there was one worse than that. There was a guy who was just like out there. And like he heard something around his camp, like maybe a bear or something, and like he was gone.
I'd be gone too if I heard a bear.
I'd be like, I've had enough.
I mean, I've heard of people who survive bear attacks, and man.
I mean, they're rare, but you don't want to. Did you see that little like clip on Twitter of that girl that like pushed the bear over the fence?
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking wild.
Yeah, it was sitting on the fence, like, swiping at her dogs.
Yeah.
And she, like, ran up and pushed off, grabbed her dogs, and ran off.
Yeah. She was a small little thing, too. I was like, that was brave.
She loves her dogs, man.
Yeah, that was really brave.
I was like, I would just be like, come on, Fido. I'm not going to go push that fucking bear for nothing.
I'd grab the dog.
I'm going to really miss that dog.
He was brave in the
end. He died protecting me.
As far as watching, I'm now season 3 of The Expanse. And then gameplay wise, I was feeling like shit on Saturday from that vaccine shot, kind of had the fever, so I was just in bed playing the game. And so I booted up Guacamelee 2. I played the original a couple years ago and enjoyed it, and so far I'm enjoying this one too.
So is it like food fight?
Yeah, avocados or something?
No, basically it's you play as this Mexican guy, like a luchador.
Okay.
And it's got a good sense of humor. It's very like a lot of like Mexican type of references, but it's basically like a side-scrolling platformer, and as you go through, you eventually get like different powers and stuff, and you do a little bit of fighting too. But it's what they call a Metroidvania, which is where you'll see like eventually I'm going to be able to go this way, but I don't have this power yet. So once I get this power, I'll backtrack to this point and be able to do it. That type of game.
Yeah, that mechanic.
Yeah. It's a fun game. I will say though, it's almost the same game as the first one, because basically you're going through and you're getting the exact same powers you got in the first game, and
so it's like new levels.
Yeah, basically, but it's well done and it's fun. And like a couple months ago, it was on sale for like $5, so I'm definitely getting my $5 worth. So yeah, I can't complain there. All right. Should we get this show on the road? See if we can find some fun stories to talk about. As tradition dictates, AJ, we'll have you go first.
All right. Thought this story was interesting. South African woman gives birth to decuplets. A South African woman who was expecting 8 babies is believed to be a new record holder after she gave birth to 10 infants. Teboho Sotetsi of Tembisa Township, Ekurhan, I'm going to mess that up. Said the wife, Gausiam Tamara Seatole, 37, gave birth to decuplets at a Pretoria hospital. Sotetsi said doctors had initially believed Sitole was pregnant with sextuplets, but they later discovered their scans had missed two. He said it came back as a shock when the doctors performed a cesarean section and ended up delivering a total of 10 babies. It's 7 boys and 3 girls. She was 7 months and 7 days pregnant. The couple had previously had Cicadas become pregnant without any infertility treatments. I'm shocked by my pregnancy, Cicadas said, when she was expecting 8 babies. I just pray for God to help me deliver all my children in a healthy condition and for me and my children to come out alive. I would be pleased about it. Professor Dini Malewa, deputy head of the School of Medicine at the Sefako Maggato Health Sciences University, said it is extremely rare for someone to become pregnant with such a large set of multiples without fertility treatments. Mawela said the babies will likely need a few weeks in an incubator before they are ready to be sent home. The danger is that because there is not enough space in the womb for the children, the tendency is that they will be small. What would happen is that they would take them out preterm because there is a risk if they keep them longer in there. Sithole is now believed to be a Guinness World Record holder. Halima Sis of Morocco took the record for most children delivered at a single birth to survive in May 2021 when she gave birth to 9 babies. The previous record was famously set in 2009 when U.S. woman Nadia Suleiman gave birth to octuplets in California. I remember that.
Yeah, the Octomom.
Yeah.
But she did use like fertility treatments, and the doctor supposedly did like some shady stuff you probably shouldn't have or whatever.
And she got a lot of heat for doing something people thought was not moral, I think. So
her fame though also got her a lot of free shit, like
she made
diapers and shit. You know.
I mean, if you have that many kids, you're gonna need some kind of help.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Bill Gates before it happens.
I don't know if she did it, but I remember a story where like she was offered to do like porn.
Oh yeah. I think she.
It seems like she did.
I thought she did do it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna go investigate.
You don't want to see Octomom?
Not really.
But yeah, I mean, naturally done. That's wild. You know, that's awesome. You know, in a way, like, especially if you wanted to have a lot of kids. But yeah.
So 10 kids. So she's what? Decamom? Is that what it would be?
Let me see what they called it at the beginning.
I thought you said dick.
Decuplets. That's what they call the kids. Decuplets. So decamom.
Man, I never want to have kids, but can you imagine, like, if you did want to have kids, you get your wife pregnant, and then you find out she's pregnant with 10 kids? I would want to blow my fucking brains out. That would be awful.
There would definitely be like a time where you couldn't even like process it, where like you just like sit down and like stare into space.
And how do you afford 10 kids? That would be impossible.
That's the hard part. Like, people can't have that many kids anymore. Like you heard that story we covered in China, right?
I'm sure they'll have an outpouring of,
this person will probably get some sort of help because,
But if you just like have triplets or something, you're probably on your own, and that's
that's true.
If she wanted to, could she have gone, like, I don't know where this is, if it's legal or not, but could she have gone to an abortion clinic and been like, maybe knock it down to 2? I mean,
I'm guessing they're all in like one sack.
Yeah,
like I don't know if that's even possible.
Well, they're not identical though, right? There's multiples or something.
It doesn't say if they're identical. I doubt that they're identical though, because didn't Octomom? Oh yeah, it says 7 boys and 3 girls. So
I bet a lot of them will look similar though.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. 7 boys and 3 girls. You got 2 boys, and I'm like,
oh God, I know. I'm like, how do you do it?
Imagine like 10 2-year-olds running around.
Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. like, if I got as a expecting father, if I got that news, like, I would just be in a spiraling depression. Like, I would not really, like, you're fucked if you have 10 kids. Like, financially, you're fucked. Like, time wise, for the rest of your life, you're fucked. You're just fucked. That would be awful.
I mean, you would have to get both sets of grandparents involved and then some to try to help you raise those.
I mean, really, even triplets would be. like rough.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't know how they do it. Like Octomom, she had a bunch of deals, so I'm hoping this lady gets help somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some community outpouring.
Yeah.
It's like a worldwide story, so.
Yeah.
All right, from 10 kids to Manifest.
Oh, sorry, I had to.
Sure.
Her name, I was having a little trouble with that. Her name is Sithole, like Sithole. I mean, in English, that's
Shithole.
Yeah, that's what it made me think. Sit hole. I mean, even sit hole is like enough to say, like, yeah, you sit and that's where the hole is.
Well, she's shitting babies out of that hole. All righty, are we ready for Manifesto Round 1?
Okay, we got a big story. Hundreds arrested around the world in huge global organized crime sting. So, an Australian company apparently like produced what was supposed to be an encryption software where you could send message illicitly to like other people in the business or whatever. Well, it turns out that it was not properly encrypted or whatever, but the company was working with the FBI. So they developed this entire technology and they gathered all this data on all these like crime, syndicates and stuff in like 16 countries. And like when they finally broke, they arrested, let me look at this. It's like 800 people.
Wow.
So 16 countries, 800 suspects, the seizures 8 tons of cocaine and more than $48 million.
So this was mostly like drugs-related crimes?
Right, it sounds like it. There was also, I'm not seeing it right now, but apparently they had stopped a number of threats to life along the way. Like, apparently they knew somebody was going to be killed. So it's all kinds of illegal activity, but yeah, it sounds like they gathered a shitload of information and.
I mean, so how, like, what they do, like, market this app? Like, hey, this is
apparently,
encrypted?
yeah, it was like an app or something that people could get, and it was being used in the industry apparently pretty widely.
So they, like, released the app and made it seem like, hey, this is, like, good encryption for you guys.
This is encryption. This is encrypted. You can send message back and forth. No one's ever going to know your business, whatever. And then they were just caching the data. So
I don't know. That's kind of dumb of them because they could have just used WhatsApp, right? Because WhatsApp is pretty much the same thing.
It's supposed to be end-to-end encryption, I believe.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, unless you like actually see the programming, like,
you
what
don't
can
know.
You trust?
For sure. Yeah, it's true.
So be careful with your encryption, guys.
Especially if you're a criminal.
Yeah. But 800, that's a substantial sting.
Yeah, it just sucks that they were like drug criminals. Like, it'd be better if they caught like human trafficking people,
Right. But there were some organized, murder, like hitmen stuff. It sounded like they stopped too.
Yeah, that's good that they stopped that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, some stuff in there. I think the war on drugs is pretty stupid, personally, but yeah, just pretty smart, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and the fact that they were able to do it and like keep it quiet for long enough to gather data and
it's kind of smart to let it play out for a while and catch more people.
Yeah.
The long game, yeah.
But I mean, people talk about shit. It's hard to keep stuff secret,
But yeah, with drugs, like, it just creates a vacuum and other people fill it. So it's,
Yeah, it's never ending.
Yeah.
All right, was that it for that one?
Yep.
So to start things off again this week, I got kind of a longer article here, but I thought it was interesting. I'll see what you guys think. So this just goes over, these are 6 bizarre things people have invented and patented. And weird things get patented all the time, but these are just 6 of them. Number 1, the saluting device. This was patented in 1896. More than 120 years ago, inventor James C. Boyle struggled with a dilemma. He wanted to be a courteous gentleman and appropriately tip his hat when greeting people, but he was also so lazy he couldn't bother to lift his arms. Okay, we don't know that, but we assume that was the case. That's the only reasonable train of thought we can think for coming up with the saluting device. It's a small, wind-up mechanical device that sits between your hat and your head. When you want to salute someone, all you have to do is bow your head. A weight shifts in the mechanism and activates it. The device will then tilt and rotate the hat for a well-mannered how do you do. That's a lot of effort put into avoiding a small arm movement. So what do you guys think of that one? It sounds pretty stupid.
Yeah, That's really
So you just like,
I guess so.
Yeah, that's a useless contraption.
Well, I think it just like kind of sticks your hat out like a salute.
you gotta save my energy for jerking
How
off.
many times is he sticking his hat out to people? Is it like every single person in a group or something? He's like, all right, that's a group of 200, so this is going to take a while.
Now this one makes more sense. The Dog Chastity Belt, patented in 2006. When you hear the term dog chastity belt, you might think it's something that a Victorian prude thought of, but nope, the thing was patented in 2006. But we're sorry, we're not calling the chastity belt by its full given name. This is the adjustable harness and animal birth control device. So yeah, it's an adjustable harness you can put on your dog. The underside of the harness is a breathable mesh that's supposed to sit flat against the dog's belly and private parts. The patent says it's for female quadrupeds, but we don't see why it couldn't work on male dogs as well. Suppose there's a market for this thing if you can't spay or neuter your puppy for some reason. Oh hey, look, the patent's actually expired due to free related reasons. If you've ever wanted to get in the dog chastity belt business, now is your chance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's useful stuff.
I mean, I don't know, like, maybe like if you want to keep your dog like able to breed, but you want to make sure he doesn't breed when you don't want him to. Maybe
You gotta save it.
Man, speaking of like sexual stuff, like I don't know if this is real, but it was on a Facebook post I saw the other day where like they supposedly like made these like they're basically like an inside out condom that a woman can kind of put in like a tampon, but on the inside of it, it has like these like
teeth,
sharp teeth. That's supposed to be like a rape prevention.
Yeah.
So like if a guy sticks it in, it's gonna like cut his wiener up real bad.
Yeah, I saw this. They're working on this kind of they've made like prototypes and stuff, but
How many of these are you planning on selling?
this,
I mean, who knows how many women would go for that?
yeah.
I mean, I feel like getting raped is like a pretty rare event. Like you're gonna do this every day for the rest of your life.
I mean, I don't know. A lot of women get raped at some point in their life.
Especially though, like
I
in
guess some people like
in some countries though, the rate of rape is much higher.
Yeah.
Like in the Middle Eastern countries and some African countries, like it's really common.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting plot point.
Yeah, I mean,
they'd probably just start looking for them beforehand, wouldn't they?
yeah, but
Well,
I mean, how would they get them
if
out?
it happened to you once, you'd probably be a little weary.
All right, patent number 3, dog testicle implants, patented in 1999. But what if you already neutered your dog, but you don't want him to have to live without his little dangly things? Well, this patent is the answer for you. It's a dog testicle implants, or a surgical method and apparatus for implementation of a testicular prosthetic device.
Humans have prosthetics.
That's true. We don't really have to say much about this. It's a method for implanting fake silicone balls in your dog's scrotum for a natural look. Like the Dog Chastity Belt, the patent is expired. Nonetheless, the various different models of nudicles are apparently a booming business. Warning, though, that website plays a particularly obnoxious tune when you first open it. Is nudicles a website? Is that what they're talking about? I don't know.
We cut out your dog's nuts and put in silicone.
If you lost a nut to like testicular cancer, like would you even give a shit about
No.
I'd probably just be like, look at my one nut.
or would you? What if it threw off your balance?
Finally, there's room for this testicle.
Or you lose both of them. You're like, okay, give me implants, but make them big.
Let's double down.
Doctor's like, you want that to go with your little dick?
You get like those Chinese metal danglers.
It's like a cocktail wiener on a freaking bowling ball.
That's true. If your balls were too big, then your wiener would look small. Number 4, leaf gathering trousers, patented in 2003. Okay. Oh, that's too much dog genitalia. We need a break. Time to put on our leaf gathering trousers and go to work in the yard. Yep, it's exactly what it sounds like. Two flexible leg stalls with a flexible net stretched between them. In case raking all those leaves of your grass is too much hard work, to slip these bad boys on. You can then awkwardly waddle around your yard trying to gather leaves between your legs. At least the neighbors will have something to talk about. And this one's expired too. See, that's a terrible idea. That's more work than raking. Like to have your legs stretched out and be like awkwardly like going side to side. That would take a much more energy than just raking. Number 5, chicken eye protectors, patented in 1903. While you're out in the yard with your leaf gathering trousers, you notice that your chickens are giving each other some nasty pecks. Gee, that one almost had its eye poked out. If only there was something you could do about this. Well, that must have happened to Andrew Jackson Jr. because he invented the chicken eye protectors. They're little goggles you can put on your chickens to protect from other fowls who might attempt to peck them. We're not going to make fun of these things. In fact, we kind of want to get some chickens now and buy these things for them. It's tiny eyeglasses for chickens. That's adorable. When when you hear like chicken eye protectors, you almost think like it's protection for humans against the chickens, but apparently not. And finally, number 6, the Mustache Guard, patented in 1876. We've noticed that mustaches have started making a comeback recently. But how do you keep your impressive whiskers from getting dirty when eating, say, soup or a particularly saucy hamburger? With a mustache guard, of course. This thing was patented in 1876 when a gentleman's worth was measured by the size of his stash. Every gentleman who wears a mustache must have experienced the great inconvenience it causes in eating and drinking, especially in eating soups and other kinds of food of similar consistency. The inventor, V.A. Gates, writes in the patent. His solution was a curved shield made out of vulcanized rubber metal or any other suitable material. Just throw on a couple loops of string so you can secure your shield to your ears and you can slurp your soup with confidence.
How does it cover the whole mustache, though?
I'm not sure. Like, because obviously...
Like, does it get your lip, too? Like...
Yeah, I'm guessing it would just be kind of like a mask that just goes across your lip, right? And
like I've seen those in like restaurants for like cooks. They have like a mustache hairnet.
Oh yeah, I guess I have seen those as well.
Yeah, they look retarded.
I don't remember seeing those.
I mean, you'd still get it in like if you had a beard. You'd still get it in your beard, right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you have to have like a full mask if you have a beard. I don't know.
I guess you could get a full mask and they just poke out a mouth hole.
Yeah, I think I'd probably just shave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, most of these are useless. Maybe it would be fun to play around with the hat salute thing, but like most of these are just awful. I don't know. Pretty useless. All right, AJ, we'll go to your story number 2.
All right. This might be a shock to you guys, but eel is no cure for constipation, as a South China man learns the hard way.
How do you use it?
Let's find out. A man in South China's Guangdong province almost lost his life after inserting a live eel into his rectum in the hope
that's
of
the way I was thinking.
relieving his constipation. Yeah, that's what
He's like, no, it has a lot of fat. You're supposed to eat it.
Makes total sense. The 50-year-old man in Dongguan, who was
Dongguan.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like a joke name.
Who has long suffered from constipation, had heard that eel can help bowel movements, reported the online news and video platform ConCon on Sunday. Instead of relieving the man's constipation, the 40-centimeter long eel perforated his digestive tract, causing severe bacterial contamination and a sigmoid colon rupture. When he was admitted to the hospital, he had been experiencing abdominal distension for 5 days days in septic shock. Doctors immediately performed a laparotomy that saved his life. If the operation hadn't been done soon, the possibility of death was very high, said the man's doctor. The eel was dead by the time it was removed during the surgery.
Oh, it was still in there.
The man has already recovered. This isn't the first case of fish sliding, is what it's called, inside a person's rectum. On June 2nd, an African carp was found in the stomach of a young man in Guangdong who claimed that the fish slid into his rectum when he accidentally sat on it.
What?
Yeah.
It was 1,000-to-1 shot.
What they call those, like the ones, mud guppies.
Guess that one makes more
It's
sense.
got the little evolutionary legs. Oh man.
Yeah, people do some stupid shit with their buttholes, man.
I mean, there's so many bad things. Like, also, like, you think if you're gonna try this, like, you think it's gonna like ream you out or something. Like, don't you like tie a string or something to it, like a tampon, so you can pull it out? Like, I wouldn't think you'd go for the full insertion.
Yeah, you need
Be like, just give me like 10 inches.
Yeah, what's your out in this situation?
Yeah, you don't want to be like buried as deep as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I really just want that Flintstones punch in on the eel where he goes, "It's a living."
That's another thing. This eel's probably like swimming around the fish tank in the market, and some guy buys him. And he's like, fuck. I guess I'm gonna be some dude's dinner."
Oh,
and then surprise.
Yeah, even worse.
He's like, "Oh, Jesus."
Not the carp guy.
And then he just dies in somebody's colon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Some backed up asshole.
That's that's bad karma, man. That's
Yeah.
you did something wrong in your last life.
Yeah, if that eel was from reincarnation.
Yeah, that was like Hitler eel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, tough.
That is a bad way to go, being shoved up the ass
Of
of
a
another being.
constipated being. So that means it's full of shit, too.
What's surprising is, like, you figure you're constipated, you got like a big backload at the end, like it's got to get something out, or I don't know. Can you get constipated like halfway up? I guess maybe that's possible. I don't know.
Like, can you imagine, like, if we lived in some fairy tale land with giants and they're just like, picks you up and be like, "I'm constipated. This will get the job done."
Yeah. Exactly. Like, if you're that eel, if, like, you can have simple thinking, then you'd be like, this is fucked up.
So this guy, I'm guessing, had, like, bad enough constipation that, like standard, like, laxatives and, what do you call enemas, things like that must not have been working.
Yeah, they make it sound like he said it was long suffering, so I'm guessing he must have tried something for it.
It had to have been a better solution. Like, stick
better than putting a live eel up your ass?
Like, even if you don't have anything, just go like get a plastic like tube, like a colonic, and shove it up there and just like blow water in like a mouthful at a time or something. That's like a couple bucks solution.
I mean, I don't know where this guy is, but like, couldn't you just go get a colonic
Or see a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in China. I mean, I'm sure they got all kinds of treatments for it. I guess that was one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I listened to a podcast once that had a girl on there that said that, like, she can almost never shit on her own. She has to, like, go to the doctor, and they give her enemas and, like, all sorts of stuff to get her going. But, like, yeah, her, like, system just doesn't work right or something.
Wow.
You figure, like, you'd figure something out. You could give yourself, like, one of the water bottle treatments.
Something.
Like,
I don't know. It's a problem I've never had, is the constipation problem.
Yeah.
What'd
Like,
she-
I've had a couple hard shits in my life, but
Well,
like,
yeah, but
I got it done, man.
she
Got a
did that as a
master
kid too. Like she had to get enemas and stuff.
what's that?
She had to get enemas as a kid too, like her whole life.
I don't know if she mentioned when she was younger, but she was like in her 20s. Yeah.
Huh? She'll never shit her pants, I guess. That's good.
And she says she like never farts as well.
Oh. Well, that's a good thing.
Maybe it's like too skinny of a tube or something.
Maybe. I don't know what the deal is. All right. Are we ready for Manifesto Round 2?
Okay. From the FDA, guys. Don't eat cicadas.
I think I saw this headline, but I didn't look into it.
Right. So apparently some people eat cicadas. There's like recipes and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
But there's this like weird fungus, and like it grows on the back end of cicadas, and like it eats like half of them, and like
I covered
it's like one of these zombie things or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did we mention this?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know if we went over this part, but like apparently this fungus or whatever creates psilocybin, so it's like psychedelic as well.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I'm wondering if people are like getting high off of these fucking cicadas or something.
Oh yeah, if people are actually getting high, that's interesting. Because
Like,
cicadas are already.
How hard up do you have to be like, this is one of them good cicadas with the fungus?
I mean, we had that story a couple weeks ago where people were eating like really rotten meat trying to get.
Oh yeah, the
yeah.
rotten meat ones. Yeah.
Trying to
So
get high,
I would rather eat the cicada than rotten meat.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I mean, if they were like fresh, like I think I could try bugs.
Yeah.
I mean, are these like killing people or making them really sick or
I think they just think it's not healthy.
not healthy?
Because psilocybin is the same thing in like magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
I'm okay with psilocybin. Never had it. Would like to.
But apparently there's a lot of other chemicals, in the concoction, so who fucking knows what would happen. But
Yeah, but I feel like eating a living bug like a cicada.
I should YouTube it because I bet there's somebody out there who's done it.
For sure. Yeah.
They're like, oh, psilocybin.
Yeah. People are licking frogs and doing all kinds of stuff.
The toad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's psilocybin as well or something different.
Yes.
It's a variant of DMT.
Okay.
But yeah.
People do crazy things to get high.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good lead into my story. Now, AJ, so far you've just gotten the first vaccine shot, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can like switch midstream as far as where you're getting your second shot, but if you can, you might want to get it in Washington.
Huh.
Marijuana stores to offer free joints for jabs in Washington.
Oh yeah, go cash in real quick.
Will vaccinations reach a new high? Time will show. In an effort to urge more people to get vaccinated and help the state to fully reopen more quickly, Washington State will allow adults to claim a free marijuana joint when they receive a COVID-19 vaccination shot, as announced by the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board on Monday.
This is the business the government ought to be in. Hey guys, who wants a blowjob? Come get your shot.
The program called Joints for Jab is effective immediately and will continue until July 12th. Customers aged 21 or older can be given one free pre-rolled joint by state-licensed cannabis businesses when they receive their first or second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at an active on-site clinic. Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board stated customers may only claim the joint from the retail location from the retail location at the same visit they get vaccinated. Okay. According to a New York Times database, 58% of people in Washington have got at least one dose of the vaccine, and 49% have been fully vaccinated. After the pace of vaccinations began to drop in mid-April, the board said it received multiple requests from cannabis retail licenses to engage in promotions to support state vaccination efforts. DC Marijuana Justice, DCMJ, a cannabis reform activist group, gave away more than 8 pounds of cannabis rolled into over 4,200 joints at 30 vaccination sites across Washington, D.C. on April 20th. 420, a day unofficially regarded as the pot holiday. Recently, the board also approved the offering of a free beer, wine, or cocktail to those 21 or older who get vaccinated before June 30th. Washington is not alone in finding creative ways to incentivize people to receive a COVID-19 vaccine. A cannabis store in Arizona, for example, is giving away pre-rolled joints and gummy edibles in return for getting vaccinated. It goes on a little bit, but yeah, That I thought was kind of that's a creative way to get people vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, we heard about the other state that was giving out like guns and
Yeah,
stuff.
like guns and trucks and shit.
This is kind of going the other way.
It's pretty bad though when we have to like bribe the populace into wanting to knock out a pandemic.
But you know what this is going to do? This is going to make the people who really don't, the anti-vaxxers, like even more suspicious because they're like, they're doing all this to get this vaccine. They're up to something, like, yeah.
Now they're trying to make us drug addicts.
Yeah.
You like pull out and the cop pulls you over.
Now, what would you call your blowjob trade? I mean, if it was actually sex instead of blowjobs, I guess it could just be pokes for pokes.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Stick it for thicket.
Oh, man. Well, that was my story. AJ, I'll send it back to you.
This one's really short, but I just thought this was funny. Thais and foreigners in Phuket caught not wearing face masks, punished by exercising instead of fines. So, like, yeah, they caught some people over there, like, not wearing masks. And, they don't want to, like, fine them money anymore because that's, like, a little too harsh and some people can't afford it. So they're making them exercise and work out. And I was like, man, foreigners must hate that, though. Like, if you're, like, a local Thai person, you're probably used to a little exercise, but if you're like an American who's there on vacation, you're like, oh no, I gotta do push-ups.
400 pounds diabetes.
Yeah, exactly.
You just die in the street.
If you're my ass, yeah, you're gonna
like, well, he gets what he deserves.
Yeah, that's a death sentence.
Let the punishment.
But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Let me see. I might have another small story here too. Okay, ties. And where was it? Oh, here's one. A camel walked more than 100 kilometers alone back to its home in North China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region 8 months after its owner sold it to its friend in October 2019. The camel was found to have been covered in bruises after wading through mountains and rivers and crossing fences and highways. According to video posted on CCTV on Monday, the owner was touched by the camel's loyalty and said he would continue to raise it and would not sell it. The camels are intelligent animals and it will be set free for the rest of its life, said the owner. 100 kilometers. I mean,
what a scam, though. The way to sell the camel and get it back.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's like, I'd go sell it again.
Yeah,
exactly. Go back out there.
He totally taught that camel.
See you in 2 weeks, buddy.
But I mean, you drop me off 100 kilometers from home, and I'm not gonna make my way back.
You live in your underwear on the side of the road.
This is my life now.
Gee. God, are we already in Manifesto Round 3?
Man, I'm running low. There's a big story on Twitter this week where apparently Elle Kemper,
Oh yeah.
like, there's this big thing where when she was 19, she was, let me find the wording. She won this ball and she was named, what was it, the Queen of Beauty and Light or something random
It was
like that.
something like that.
But
That's some weird ass name.
apparently, like, it is like a long-running kind of white supremacist event. And she's apologized for it since then, said she didn't really know when she was 19 what it was about.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I was wondering if she ever responded to it because I saw the initial
she
story,
put an apology
but then
out.
I never saw anything else about it.
That was the only thing that was, a little weird because she took a long time to respond. But she took 6 days, but her response was normal. I thought it was a fine response, like.
But when I first heard that story, I thought
Queen of Love and Beauty.
I thought that might be the case of like she was so young, like, and who knows, maybe like her parents were assholes or something, and they just like signed her up for. I didn't know the details.
She's like from a really rich family.
Yeah, I heard that years
Down
ago.
south,
That, like,
so-
yeah, she was from a rich family.
Yeah, it could have just been like one of those debutante's balls kind of thing that you don't know is tied to something like.
Yeah.
That could be too. Give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I will say I have always thought Elle Kemper's pretty cute.
Cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, speaking of Twitter and cute, I made some like comment on some comedians like post or whatever, and Amy Yazbek liked my reply.
Problem Child 2's Amy Yazbek?
Amy Yazbek.
Oh.
And I had a crush on her.
She was married to John Ritter, right?
Yeah, John Ritter, yeah.
I haven't seen her, though, in ages. Does she still act?
I don't think so.
Like, I don't know when the last time I saw her in something was.
Yeah, I mean, she was like Men in Tights, Problem Child, maybe a couple other things. The Mask.
Oh, that was her. Amy Yazbek. She was in Wings, right?
Yeah, well, she was in Wings, I think, yeah.
Was she
I
in
used
Wings?
to have a crush on her. I still do. I mean, yeah, she was in Wings. She was what's her
she's
name's
super hot.
sister? The lady who owned the shop,
Okay.
the cafe or whatever.
Man, yeah, I hadn't even heard that name in a long time, but as soon as you said it, I was like, I remember her.
Yeah.
For some reason, like, we owned Problem Child 2 as kids, and I watched it like a million times.
Yeah, I remember.
Was
like,
she in
a
The
fair amount of
Mask
movies.
also?
Yeah, she was like the less glamorous.
Yeah,
hot
she was the
chick.
bad one who turned on
She
her.
was like the plain Jane.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the only woman I remember from that was Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, she was smoking in that.
That was the best she
I
ever.
mean, smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed my lead in.
But after that, she kind of... She looked different after that. She looked really good in that movie, I thought, you know. I mean, she's still beautiful. But,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Cameron Diaz, man, she's hot. Especially, like, around, like, the something about Mary and,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Charlie's Angels. Like,
Something
yeah.
About Mary, I forgot.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
really
yeah.
beautiful in that, too.
Yeah, she's got a gigantic smile.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Her smile, like, looked like it got bigger or something.
I don't know. It's huge.
Wait, what was the story? Just, like, Amy Yazbek liked one of your tweets?
Yeah, I wanted you guys to know, so you know, like our hierarchy here,
Whoa,
because
whoa, whoa.
I might have to stop hanging out with you guys pretty soon. Here.
Hold on.
It's questionable.
Don't get too full of yourself. Let me see my last comment on TikTok where I said mango juice is the best juice. Got 533 likes.
What the fuck is going on TikTok? It was a video?
No, I just said mango juice is the best juice.
What the fuck is going on TikTok?
There was it was a response to a video about like a cat or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But were any of those people celebrities that we haven't heard of since the 90s?
No.
To be fair, my comment wasn't funny, and she was the only one who liked it.
So you got like a brainwave thing
Yeah,
with yes. Okay.
I guess so.
Now, like, if Chris Kattan responded and was like, mango, I'd be like, that's something.
Yeah.
546.
Now, do you really believe that mango juice is the best juice in the world?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be honest. I never knew that mango as juice was a thing. I've never tried it.
The juice of the mango.
Is it
I've
similar?
had mangoes a couple times. I didn't really like mangoes.
Is it similar to orange juice?
No.
No?
It's its own.
Have you had mangoes?
I don't know. I thought so, but maybe I'm wrong.
Not a lot of mangoes in Montana.
Well, I have yet another story about a cool medical thing that'll probably happen when we're all dead. Scientists say humans may be able to grow another limb. And we already have untapped potential to do so. If you lose a limb, scientists suspect you may someday be able to make a full recovery, not with prosthetics, but as simply growing a new one. A team of researchers studying the Axolotl, a species of aquatic salamander, has taken one step closer to uncovering the mystery of limb regeneration in the creature by investigating the differences in molecular signature linked to regeneration in mice and axolotl Axolotl. According to a recent study published in the Journal of American Association for Anatomy, the study also reveals how a mouse regenerates. And if we learn the secrets of limb regeneration in the axolotl and adapt it for mammals like mice, then we'll be tremendously close to offering people who've lost limbs another option besides prosthetics. The crucial difference comes down to an immunological cell known as a macrophage. And with this knowledge, the potential for human application is closer than ever. When mammals are injured, they typically generate a scar at the site of damage. Since the scar becomes a physical barrier to regeneration, Godwin's team focused on learning why the axolotl doesn't scar over like mammals. Like us, our research shows that humans have untapped potential for regeneration, says James Godwin, researcher and lead study author of Mount Desert Island Biological Laboratory. If we can solve the problem of scar formation, we may be able to unlock our latent regenerative potential. Axolotls don't scar, which is what allows regeneration to take place. But once a scar is formed, it's game over in terms of regeneration. If we could prevent scarring in humans, we could enhance the quality of life for so many people, added Godwin in the report. The axolotl is a Mexican salamander that's nearly extinct in the wild, but its unique regenerative capabilities have provided a special status in scientific circles. Most salamanders possess some regenerative abilities, but the axolotl can rebuild nearly any body part, including its hearts, lungs, jaws, limbs, spinal cord, ovaries, tail, skin, and much more. It can even regenerate its brain. Mammals in their embryo or juvenile stages can regenerate too. For example, human children can regenerate fingertips, and infants can regenerate heart tissue, which means adults too might retain the crucial genetic code for regeneration. This opens the door to potentially developing pharmaceutical therapies, enabling humans to grow tissues and organs lost to injury or disease, instead of simply forming a permanent scar. In his recent research, Godwin compared macrophage, a type of immune cell in the axolotl, to the same cells in mice, with aims to find the quality the former possesses that promotes regenerative capabilities. Godwin found these cells to be key in the salamander's regeneration. When levels of macrophages were low, the axolotl formed a scar instead of new body parts, just like mammals. We are getting closer to understanding how axolotl macrophages are primed for regeneration, which will bring us closer to being able to pull the levers of regeneration in humans, said Godwin in the report. For instance, I envision being able to use a topical hydrogel at the site of a wound that is laced with a modulator that changes the behavior of human macrophages to be more like the axolotl. If studies into the axolotl's macrophages and how we can encourage their human counterparts progress, and they absolutely will, we could see the dawn of a new era in medicine when everything from disease-related amputation to workplace injuries become far less serious and as complex as drug prescriptions and physical therapy. Of course, the issue of affordability could see early implementations of this advancement priced out of most people's range, but the possibility alone of regenerating lost limbs is too compelling to ignore.
Yeah, that was kind of like, I'm pretty cynical now. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, that's such good news, but the medical companies are not going to make it so that everybody can get it, man. Like, only the rich are going to be able to get it.
I mean, that's true, but that's true of a lot of things at first, where they're only for rich people, and then over time they become cheaper.
But I feel like there's such gatekeepers in the medical community. Like, they so insulin, all that stuff. Like, they don't care. Like, they'll charge you an arm and leg no matter what.
Yeah, I mean that's the basis for why I'm in favor of universal health care. But I just thought it was a cool thing. It sounds like science fiction.
Yeah.
And maybe it is in the end. But just the thought of you lose an arm or some sort of organ goes to hell on you, and that's not the end. You can actually have a chance of growing another one, and you don't have to wait on some sort of organ transplant list that your body might reject or something like that. There are things they're experimenting with now that if they ever were able to do, they would extend the human life a long ways. Like I say, I feel like we'll be dead before they implement any of them.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it. Like, not just that, but just the extending life and everything. Those other pills that they're working on or something.
Yeah, like de-aging, like by itself. Like, I mean, that's like the biggest breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that like if they figured that out, because once they figure that out, like then you got a chance at all that other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you guys think? Like the next technological breakthrough in, let's say, the next 30 years is going to be? Can you even fathom it?
I mean, I'd say it's almost going to be based around AI.
Yeah, something in the mind, like implants in the mind.
Yeah, because I guess there is that thing that what's his name?
Neuralink.
Yeah, Neuralink. I don't know what's the possible applications of Neuralink, because I remember one he said is like he thinks it might be able to help with like preventing Alzheimer's and things like that, but I don't know.
I thought you could like essentially access information instantaneously, right? That's like
So it almost like
the internet
mixes your brain with like computing capacity.
Yeah, that's what I heard, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that would.
I mean, that seems fascinating, but I'm also worried about like somebody hacking it and blowing up your brain.
My brain. That's why you need this fucking salamander DNA to grow your brain.
Yeah, that's impressive, man. When you said it could grow back its brain, I was like, all right, that thing's invincible, man. Like,
but then it said it's almost extinct in the wild, and I'm like, if it can do all this crazy shit, like, why is it going extinct?
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Do you guys got any more topics, or you guys want to do a couple cards to go out on?
Yeah, I'm down to do a couple cards.
Card.
Okay. If you could build one monument to last thousands of years, like the Great Pyramids, what would you build and why? I mean, I'd like to take the ego route and be like, I build a big old monument to myself. But like, I hate the way I look so much. I have like so much like self-hatred that I would not want that.
I'd probably go with like the Leaning Tower of Peni or something.
So you'd build
Just a giant
you
dick.
build an actual leaning dick.
Yeah, with a curve in it.
Big old veins.
I don't know. I don't have an exact thing in mind. I just think I would, if it was like a great monument that would last 1,000 years, I'd go to like all the like different best sculptors and like people who are like cultural historians and all those people. I'd try to get like the best ideas for what would represent like different countries and cultures and everything, like all coming together. Like I'd try to get something that everybody could get around. I don't know.
Nerd. It would be funny to like, put yourself on Mount Rushmore, like making a funny like face or something like. Good for you.
This cost me all the billions I've ever made.
We're getting close to an hour. Let's do a couple more. If you had the option to explore Disney or another country, which would you pick and why?
Oh, another country in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Well, there are Disneylands in other countries.
Yeah. Disney Japan, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean,
The French one died, didn't it? Like, it didn't survive.
Euro Disney.
Euro Disney.
Yeah. I don't know anything. I just heard people make fun of it and stuff. But I don't know
I
anything
think it
about
was a failure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's like, first of all, I've never been to a Disneyland or Disney World. Now, if it came where you could like, cut line and like you could actually go there and like ride all the rides and have a lot of fun, I think I would pick Disney over another country with that caveat. Maybe I would just do it anyways. I don't know.
You're not getting too old.
I seen pictures.
Well, I am.
I seen videos of people who like spend their whole life savings and they go on a rainy day and it's just horrible. I'm like,
There are people who will save up like all year to go. And
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah. If it sucked, that'd be
Yeah, that's the worst.
I remember Tom Segura said that like they used to like when they were first married or whatever. You know, they didn't really have a lot of money, and they were living in this like shithole apartment complex, and they had neighbors there who basically bought like season tickets or whatever. Like they went to Disneyland every weekend. And so like they said like just like them, these people didn't have a lot of money, and what they did have they were spending to go to Disneyland like every weekend because they were like obsessed with Disney.
yeah. Okay.
It's like yeah, like you really got to be committed.
I mean, whatever gets you through the day, I guess. You know, like some people got their vices like drinking and
Yeah. I mean, there's everything there. There's food and shopping and rides. So, I mean, I could see people wanting to do it, I guess.
I could see myself having more fun in a place like Disneyland than like I don't know, another country.
I feel like I'd get tired of it, you know, because I used to like. There was like an Astro World in Houston, and I think I had like a season pass there a couple times, and you know, you go like 3-4 times, and you're like, all right, that's enough. you
Yeah.
know?
I've had my seasons
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. About to end on another diarrhea one. Just hit the bottom. Hope Amy Yazbeth's not watching this.
We kept the record going with mentioning poop or diarrhea in this episode.
Yeah, you do. 43.
Well, we actually got the constipation one earlier, so
Right.
we touched on it.
Well, we're going to do one more and see if we can't get the ratings boost of you pooping your pants live on. Would you rather be the emperor of a poor civilization or a servant in the richest kingdom, and why?
Definitely emperor of a poor civilization.
Yeah, Emperor, man. I'd want to try to turn that shit around.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're emperor,
Now,
I mean,
now is there like a caveat that they can't kill you like 10 days later?
see, that's the only thing I worry about is the revolt. But I mean, even if it's a poor civilization, you might be rich because you're taking all their money from them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how those things usually work, right?
Yeah. Somebody's on top is doing all right.
So yeah, definitely emperor. Definitely emperor. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for our silly little show today. Anyone watching or listening, please, do all the standard stuff. Recommend us to your friends, share clips, and, recommend the podcast to them. Like, subscribe, leave comments. Let us know if you live on a hump street or not. And guys, where can people follow you on the Twitter?
I am at a name for this 2, and that's the number 2.
At Unsolicited, SUG.
And you can find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. And that is going to do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.